All right. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space. Oh, man. So the big thing the last few days, over the weekend, the alpha test weekend. But what can you really say about something we're testing that has nothing to do with all the things that people want to talk about? Well, how does it look? How does it run? How does it do this? How does it do that? This is not there. This is neat, but well, all the neat things that we saw that were added in, that I guess we can talk about that. But as far as I've been hearing, and even myself, complaining a little bit about, well, I didn't see this. I didn't see that. And boy, if those are missing, I'm going to be awful mad. You know, and then in the fine print, it's like, hey man, this may not look anything like the final product. You're playing with something that we put together for you that may or may not have any bearing on anything. We're just testing like telemetry, so just fly around. That's all we want you to do, just fly around. But nothing, just fly around. And yeah, test the weather. That's it? Yeah, fly around and test the weather. Okay. So I can't complain about the career mode? No. I can't, no. But no. Did you have a good time? Oh, I had the best time this weekend. I missed almost an entire day due to other commitments. I wasn't expecting it to happen. And, but I still managed to get something like 24 hours of live streaming. Trying to just, what do you want to see? What do you want to see? What do you want to see? What do you want to look at? I can do all this later, of course, you know, but not everybody got a chance to get hands-on with it, so I don't want to be selfish over here and, hey, watch me do this while you can't. I'm going to go ahead and grind my way through the career mode stuff, and I just want you to tune in and waste time watching me grind away my career mode. No. So I spent like the first, I don't know, 10, 15 hours just saying, what do you want? What do you want to see? Anything to do with anything. So we went all over the place, and we scoured through the menus, and we looked for this, and we looked for that. And at times, go ahead and speed us up a little bit. We are over Flying Horse, Colorado, and below us somewhere is the Flying Horse Ranch, and it's north of Colorado Springs, so we're looking south. And as we look west, we point ourselves towards the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. Pikes Peak in the far distance. The Air Force Academy airfield at our 11 o'clock. But one of the commenters showed up in the in one of my comments and left a message saying, during the alpha testing, hey, I really enjoyed you flying around Colorado Springs. I'm from the Flying Horse area, and that's really cool. So I wanted to make sure that I thanked that person by doing a little flyover sightsee, maybe, of Flying Horse. We're just gonna kind of make our way around here as I keep talking. See if I can get into the other mode. I don't know how I toggle it on and off sometimes. Sometimes I have control of the camera in that mode, and sometimes I don't. And you'd think after all this time I'd know. Have my stuff set right. You're asking too much, I think. Okay. So, at times, the alpha. Wow. And, oh my. And I didn't see that coming. And what the heck just happened? Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Oh, it crashed again. This is missing. That's missing. So it was a roller coaster. And things were actually changing over the hours as I was playing, or maybe I was hallucinating. I did put in a lot of hours. But like when we first loaded it up, in the first few hours after the alpha dropped, someone requested right away that we go to New York City and check it out. So I complied, and it looked like photogrammetry was completely turned off. And I had checked to make sure that it was on, of course. I was trying to do 4K and make it look, put everything on ultra and make it look as good as possible. Anyway, it was amazing. All of the buildings it was either using photogrammetry or was using extremely light photogrammetry, which I couldn't even notice. But all the models on all the buildings were so crisp. All the lighting on the buildings was so clean. And it was a really wonderful experience flying around New York, probably around 30 minutes or less. And in the last few hours before the alpha closed, I went back to New York, and maybe it just that point started streaming photogrammetry, or it had started streaming it at some point. Either way, it destroyed it. And no matter what I did to try to change graphics around, it was applying a really, really, really low level photogrammetry to New York. And again, I can't complain about that. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. I was so blessed to just be in there and checking things out. And yeah, you just roll with the changes. We're just happy. We were just lucky to be there helping them test their telemetry stuff. I think one of the biggest oohs and ahs for me was they're going to add voice chat and possibly have a universal translator. I hadn't heard anything about that. A translator that will convert, I'm assuming, voice and text into your language in a group voice chat, or however the voice chat is set up. So wow, big, that was big. The career mode stuff is a lot of fun. The real, doing your inspection and the realism stuff combined with all of that could be a lot of fun, could be a lot of pain. Pain. What do you mean, pain? Career mode brings its own hell. Okay? So you have credits, and now you have, we want to be able to do inspections on our plane. Okay. Well, now you have areas of your aircraft that are prone to wear and tear and being completely worthless, and you'll end up having to pay for those repairs. So if you're like me and you're accident prone, despite how hard we try, some of us aren't born with superior pilot genes. right? And it doesn't come easy. So a lot of crack ups. And I did NEOFLY for, I don't know, the last year or so. Doing the Skydude live streams, these Skydude live streams. And oh man, I had, horrible mistakes. And they're very, very, very expensive. Everything's terribly expensive in NEOFLY. And you cry and you cry and you cry when you're a low-level rookie starting out. If the tests are anything, if the progression of the career skill trees is anything like what we saw in the demo, even newbies, you have nothing to worry about. It seems like they found like how to create a tutorial that doesn't uh-oh, we lost connection. That doesn't demoralize you, Remember every single stinking flight lesson in any simulator, especially Microsoft, over the last however decades. And think about the scars those have left upon you all these years later. For every little taxing infraction, restart. For every little mistake you make, restart. Unforgiving. One little mistake and you were always restart. And then back in the day, they always had those long introductory pre-briefings that you couldn't hit the space bar fast enough to move through, only to taxi hundreds of yards and at the very last moment jostle your throttle, go 1 knot faster, start over. Everything. They were so cruel. You ended up learning, or you just quit, rage quit. And I think that's every single simulator training mission I've ever had done. But these weren't like that at all. If you screwed up, they told you about it after the fact. Or you get a little warning like, hey, your wheel just went off the runway there, pal. And then at the end of the briefing, things to work on. Stop letting your wheel run over get off the runway. But, it's very, very nice. So, and then they give you the encouraging words. Well, there's always room for improvement. Hey, that's great. Some people are like, they're too simple. Another person said, well, what's stopping you from doing all the realism stuff in addition to? You might get a better score. Have you tried that? And nothing is stopping you from putting as much realism in it as you want. Do all your checklists and, the tests were very easy. I think they're gonna make things a little bit more difficult. And if they don't, then you have nothing to worry about. Don't be intimidated. If you've never done flight sims, and you're looking at this and you're like, man, I really, really, really want to. It's just, my gosh, that's gonna be way too hard. It can ease you in so wonderfully. And then you get out of it what you put into it after that. So the more you learn and the more you practice, go out, watch videos, you can't rely on the sim to teach you much of anything. You really can't. It really requires that you crack down and you learn as much as you can on your own and then bring that knowledge back into the simulator and apply it. And you'll find that, I don't know, way more than 70% of things that, maybe that's a little high, maybe way more than 60% of the things that you need to learn to get real world licenses can be applied, and you can train them in here. Everything. Okay, so today it's VOR navigation, and then tomorrow it's NDB navigation, and then the next day it's, you know, GPS navigation, triangulation, everything. Reading a DME arc, following the charts exactly, doing, you know, blah, 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 blah. All right, we're going to do one more spin and look at this area, Flying Horse, and then we're going to head over towards the Air Force Academy. Since we're here, if you want to follow along, yeah, I'm just north of Colorado Springs. Multiplayer is on. Just saw somebody flying around back there when we were turning. And yeah, let's tilt the front rotor down. And be on our way. I don't know why that damn song, sorry. Mrs. Brown, you have a lovely daughter? I don't know why that song is in my head. So, if you're listening, Mrs. Brown, you have a lovely daughter. And then I don't know the chorus, I just know the da 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 da. I have no idea what the words are. That chorus is awful snappy. Da, da, da. These Bing maps are really outdated, and I really hope we get much zippier responses, or, I mean, you know, is it a matter of national security that we all have to use like 10-year-old satellite maps? You know, what have you been doing for 10 years? So we'll circle back over here. We're gonna jog over to the right a little bit. So the actual Air Force Academy, the grounds. Over here is the, excuse me, let me take a sip of coffee here and clear my throat. Whoa, a little too much rotor action there, buddy. Okay, so that's I-25 off our starboard side, running north-south, Interstate 25. And this little cloverleaf areas, this is all the entry way to the Air Force Academy grounds proper. Giant war aircraft mounted there. Can't really see it that clearly. I don't know what, you know, some of these facilities are away from the main campus. But they have a whole city just pretty much unto themselves, with high schools and everything just for them.
X-ray Golf Sierra, contact Colorado Springs approach on 120.6. Good day.
And I don't know if we're supposed to be asking for classified
X-ray Golf Sierra. Goodbye.
Permission to transfer into a different class space.
X-ray Golf Sierra 7,600 feet.
Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, Colorado Springs, approach altimeter 30.37, radar contact, continue.
I don't have any of the historical notes readily available to read on the Air Force Academy. When it was established, why, but usually everybody's heard about it. people that love sports, you know, especially college and stuff, and that follow all the military football. They love their soccer. Oh, it gets better. There's like 1,000 tennis courts. Yeah, here come all the tennis courts. We were here in the during the alpha. We came over here and checked out the chapel. Test. Okay. Whoops. Whoops. Don't crash, man. Okay, so let's go check out the stadium. Speaking of sports and football, or whatever sports, there's an observatory over here too, and I think that might be it right there. Or a planetarium. I don't remember going there when we were little kids. I remember going here to this golf course a lot as a kid. Dad and his military buddies on Sundays after watching Johnny Quest. Or was it, I don't remember, Saturdays or Sundays? Must have been Saturdays. I always remember cutting it close, trying to get Johnny Quest watched, getting ready to be up and ready to go. Dad says, let's get out the door. And if I was good, I got to be the caddy, and they'd let me like press the pedal on the cart.
Good day.
Loved it when I finally got old enough to
124.0 X-Ray Golf Sierra.
be able to drive the cart.
Colorado Springs approach Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra 7.
Felt like a big man.
Alpha Sierra, X-Ray Golf Sierra, Colorado Springs, approach altimeter 30.37, radar contact, continue. X-Ray Golf Sierra, contact Colorado Springs approach on 120.6. Good day.
Day.
0.6 X-Ray Golf Sierra. Goodbye. Colorado Springs approach Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra 6,900 feet.
Alpha Sierra, X-Ray Golf Sierra, Colorado Springs, approach altimeter 30.37, radar contact, continue.
Okay.
X-Ray Golf Sierra, contact Colorado Springs approach on 124.0. Good day.
124.0 X-Ray Golf Sierra. Goodbye. Colorado Springs approach Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra 6,600 feet.
Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, Colorado Springs. Approach altimeter tree 0.7, radar contact, continue.
Not perfect, but again, I don't have a handcrafted stadium. I'm sure somebody's probably built more handcrafted material. Who knows? But, and who knows how good this stuff might look in 2024. Don't know. So I'd really love to hear it. And again, anything's on the table.
120.6.
As far as your thoughts on the Alpha.
1.0.6 X-ray Golf Sierra. Goodbye.
I'm interested in hearing. Oh my, let them finish talking.
6,900 feet.
Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, Colorado Springs. Approach altimeter tree 0.7, radar contact, continue.
Okay, so what the heck I was saying? I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, no matter what it is, really, on what you thought about the Tech Alpha stuff, what you've seen, if you played it, what you thought. And again, I know that it's not a finished product, and you know that it's not a finished product, but that still doesn't stop us from having opinions on what we experienced or what we're seeing. We can talk about it. So, the chat room is open. If there's anything you'd like to... Wait, say on the matter. Make sure the chat room is open. Yeah. Sorry it's not maybe as smooth as it could be. I'm trying different things. I'm trying to, like, go over 3840 by 2160 and have it try to render higher before downscaling to 1440p on the YouTube side of things. Seems I may have just, a little touch too much. And all I need it to do, I've been trying to download some of my my live streams, and I'm not sure that YouTube is really fond of doing 4K at 60 FPS. Because it's supposed to, and it says that it did, but then when I go download my own live streams, Resolve says they're all at 30. It ingested them and finished the final transcriptions of them, or whatever it is it does, at 30 frames a second. I'm trying to get the machine to get and hold 60 frames at 4K and stream 4K. And so today it's like, well, if it's only going to ultimately do 30 frames, then I'm better off shooting for VSync on at half refresh rate and do what I can to have it work on just staying at right or around 30 frames per second. But with all that extra overhead, plus I don't have my bandwidth, so now instead of 51,000 kilobits, which is fine, I've got it, but that I can come back down to 20. So we're taking all this load off, and we're not trying to output at a full 4K today. But I think you'll see in here, I'm able to put it right here at 5376 by 3024. And let me turn on the developer thing. So it's at 34 frames at the moment. Let me go back to the, just have it sitting there for a minute. 32, 33. I'm looking in the upper right-hand corner in the green. And it says our render is 5,376 by 3,024. So it absolutely is rendering before it sends it off to YouTube at a 1440 scale. But it's working hard. So I'm going to come back in here and let's see. If we just leave it and go back to 100%. Should still be, see if it still tries to hold it at 30. And that's going to 50. So it's actually pumping out more frames than we need. But there are always things we can try. All right, like coming back into the frame rate limiter and 50%, we'll go 33% monitor refresh rate and see what it does to it. Still puts us 50s. So it's kind of basically like throwing 10 frames away. It has 10 frames it can throw away. Something like that. I'm checking my stats on OBS. And just now when I was switching over, this entire time I've been streaming to you, it hasn't dropped any frames there's been zero encoder lag. It just now, when I clicked over to change the scene to OBS, I incurred one missed frame. So well, it doesn't look like anybody has anything that they want to say today. Everybody's at work and being busy, and they just, our schedules didn't work out. I will read your comments if you leave them in the comments, and on the next live stream tomorrow or whenever, I will absolutely address your comments. So please give me something to talk about. Engage me in your thoughts and wishes and wants and nightmares about upcoming 2024. I would very, very much love to hear what you think. Me personally, I'm a fanboy, and I'm just so thrilled with all of this. And I always, am coming up with goofy things, wondering about the future and all the silly things that they can add into it, all the amazing things that they can do. I mean, the sky's the limit anymore. So it's okay to dream crazy things for Microsoft Flight Simulator and our Microsoft Sim Earth. That makes any sense to you? Right now, we're thinking, I know, here's a food for thought before I leave. So we're constantly thinking about Microsoft Flight Simulator and this world that we're flying in as being ours. It's ours. This is the Microsoft Flight Simulator world. But in a weird way, it kind of isn't. Microsoft Flight Simulator is an interface, a flight sim interface for Microsoft Sim Earth. In a weird way. Because they keep adding more and more and more realism to the simulated Earth. So it behooves them actually to use the Sim Earth for other things. As well as adding to it for our enjoyment. Everything that they add into it, right? Like, what if they took Microsoft Golf, Microsoft Fishing and Camping, and they did real world camping and fishing using the same Sim Earth? Well, why can't we have, by doing that, by using this same Sim Earth, that we could enjoy those kind of things too in our downtime? And question, would that...
X-Ray Golf Sierra, contact Colorado Springs approach on 124.0. Good day.
Would having more non-flying activities and simming downtime things to do
0 X-Ray Golf Sierra. Goodbye.
help retain people
Colorado
and
Springs approach Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra 7,000 feet.
cause people maybe to quit less?
Colorado Springs, approach altimeter tree 0.37, radar contact, continue.
Reducing burnout by having fun non-flying things to do every now and then. Sometimes you get like flying frenzy and you just fly and fly and fly and fly, and then you get burnout, and then you go off to another game, and what are the chances are, you're just so inclined to hurry up and get back and do it again. I think it'd be better to have things like, first of all, you could use it like Unicom. I'm going to teach you how to use Unicom to schedule a round of golf and yada, yada, yada. So those are some things to think about. If you have any thoughts on that, please let me know, and we can talk about that too. Talk about anything. What do you want to talk about? I'll catch you next time, folks. Bye-bye.
X-Ray Golf Sierra, contact Colorado Springs approach on 120.6. Good day.